Wow. So Friday, Trump signs an EO saying that, oh, H1b visa holders are going to cost $100,000 a year from now on. And yeah, saw that. I was like, okay, wow, what the heck. Saturday, because it was pretty late when that stream ran. So then on Saturday, I'm watching X, Twitter, and I'm watching everybody's reaction to it. And it's all over the place. So you got people in India who are like, oh, if you're not going to take all the, take all of our developers anymore, we won't have the brain drain and we'll do all of these great things. Okay. And that, this is going to kill innovation in the United States, that the United States, the typical excuse that is used why we need the H1B visas is because we just don't have the tech talent here in the United States. Okay. On the other side, you had people celebrating, going, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. We're going to, all the companies are going to have to hire American workers from now on, and it's going to be great stuff. And on a few YouTube videos that I watch, I kind of comment. I was like, reacting to it that quickly, I was like, don't do that. Never. The knee-jerk reaction so often is wrong. And in my opinion, especially when we're dealing with Trump. I call him Big Top for a reason, because it's a constant circus around the guy. And I don't care if you're for him or against him, it's a circus. It's his style. And then, so to my point, Sunday, today, as I'm filming, it comes out, clarification. Oh, no. It's just the initial application for the H1B visa that's going to cost $100,000. Existing visa holders will renew at the old rate. And that had everybody melting down. Meanwhile, I've had time to think, and I actually read the EO. And I had to get some help, because reading the preamble to it, the reasoning why Trump is doing what he's doing, I think is justified. I do think that American companies have taken advantage of the H1B visa, and they've done some very interesting things in getting around some of the rules with the H1B visa. And I even think right now on Sunday, I'm making this video too early. I think just now, people who actually know what they're doing can reasonably talk about the effect of Trump's tariffs on the economy. I think personally, we won't really know the impact of this for several months, really, because as the clarification, and as I've read the EO and I've gotten help, I use Copilot to read it back to me. I won't use ChatGPT. Anyway, but point, all the people who have H1B visas, they're good to go. They'll renew at their old rate, and they'll continue working. The new applications, Monday, those visa applications will cost $100,000 each. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. The renewals go in the way they will go, but new stuff, I might have done it a bit differently, but okay. The important piece to this is the prevailing wage piece. So what companies have been doing is they will take a senior developer from offshore, India predominantly, but anywhere. They'll bring them to the United States and they'll say, well, we're paying them an entry-level salary. So, entry-level salary for a software developer might be $50,000, $60,000 a year. So they bring a dude who has 10 years experience from India over here, and they pay him $50,000, $60,000 a year instead of the 100 or more that you would pay an American. And so that's one of the tricks that they've done. Section 4 of the EO says, you got to pay local prevailing wages. So if you're bringing in with the new thing, and it's too bad this part isn't retroactive, which would be good for those guys, by the way. Um, so if you're bringing an H-1B visa into Seattle, into Redmond, Washington area, or into San Francisco, Silicon Valley, those rates are going to be very high. Here in Dallas, you're talking, for a senior dev, you're talking probably minimum 90, probably more likely, I think, probably 120. So good deal for the Indian dude coming over here. And just to be very clear, I have no animosity towards my Indian brothers. I want them over here working for us, not working for the competition. But I don't want them suppressing wages for everybody else. This should not be a race to the bottom. The problem with the initial announcement where they're like, oh, every renewal will also cost $100,000. The problem that would have been a disaster. And one of the things, this was not going to cause there to be a hiring frenzy of American developers in the United States. Even with the revision, the clarification, it's not going to cause it. And what was before, what you don't, one of the things to think about is companies have budgets and they work on fiscal years. And, the organization I work for, we're already on our fiscal year 2026. They set the budget. So, say we had 100 H-1B visas. They budgeted $100,000 plus whatever the legal fees, say $200,000, to renew those guys, all of those people, and keep their H-1B visas valid. Had they done the EO as it was described in the stream, then all of a sudden it wasn't going to be $200,000. It was going to be 100 times $100,000. I'm a programmer. I don't do math in my head. I write a program to do it. Thank you very much. Basically, it would have been a lot of money. 10 million, I think, plus legal fees. So what would have happened is we wouldn't have renewed those H-1B visas. They'd be off to home, or maybe to some other organization that thought, yeah, they're worth that. Our contractors, so that work that those people performed, somebody still has to do it. That's part of our plan for the year. So the contractors, the consulting companies and stuff like that we use, they're also budgeted, and we're not going to give them, we're not going to increase their budget. So it's going to fall to full-time employees to pick up that slack. And they're not going to turn around and hire a bunch of people to fill up those spaces, even though, those H-1B visas, they had budget also for their pay in addition to the renewal. But that's not how it works. There's a plan, and they're going to execute that plan or try to. So by not having the renewals cost $100,000, plans that are in flight right now don't get destroyed. They can go ahead and execute them. There's something in there, and I didn't understand, in the EO that talks about October of 2026 is a significant date. I didn't quite understand what that was about, but basically, and we're going to get to a very important piece to this. My view is what Lutnick was saying isn't going in right now. That's going to be what's coming next. What they're doing is, it's the art of the deal. Trump's saying, hey, look, we're going to start making it very expensive for you to use H-1B visas, but we're not going to take and crash the market by immediately causing the prices to go through the roof. We're going to give you, at least another year before this goes up, which brings us to an interesting point. If you read that EO, it's 1 year. It expires September 21st, 2026. So there's a year where all of the new H-1B visas cost $100,000, but the H-1B visas that are already here, nothing really changes for them. I'm not even really clear about the people who are, I feel bad for some of those people if, like, hey, I'm going home, my brother's getting married, I'm going to be at his wedding, and you saw this live stream, you're like, oh, I got to get home. I'm unclear on how that actually plays out. I think that those people are actually okay and they'll be able to come back. At least talking with Copilot and the way it made it sounds like they're actually okay and they'll come back all right. I could be wrong. Could be wrong about all this. But the thing is, I think in a year, either Congress takes and acts and passes a bill that Trump will sign, or Trump takes and it either extends this EO as is, or comes down and says not only are the new H1Bs going to cost you $100,000, but your renewal is also going to cost you significantly more, which then, because the problem is the number of people who actually have an H1B visa, I'm unclear, because in the preamble, he's talking millions, but when I did searches, it says more like 500,000, actually 443,000 people. But even so, causing 440,000 people to suddenly lose their jobs and dump them on the job market, and 70% of that would be in India. So that's like 280,000 people all of a sudden looking for jobs. That'd cause all sorts of chaos. And I don't think Trump really wants to cause that much turmoil. Maybe he does. I don't know. But the thing is, immediately, this is not going to cause Microsoft to. It might cause Microsoft to slow down laying people off, and other American tech firms to slow down their layoffs while they figure out what the hell's going on. And if they continue in the direction that the stream sounded like, then maybe it increases employment in the United States. However, Microsoft, Walmart, Amazon, Google, Facebook, they all have campuses overseas in India, in China, Ireland, all over the world. They've got campuses. So they could just say, you know what, screw it. We'll just expand those campuses and absorb those H1B visas in Pune and Hyderabad and places like that. I mean, there's nothing at this point stopping it. There is the additional thing, in my opinion, just going after the H1B visa by itself is insufficient. We need our education system. We have enough techs. We have enough developers and things to fill the needs. However, we need more. And I think this needs to be a program of executive orders, or even better, bills passed by Congress that change how student loans get done, so that if you want the really good interest rate on your student loan, as in like no interest, you get a degree in STEM. We don't need gender studies majors. We need computer scientists. We need people, mathematicians. We need physicists. We need chemists. We need electrical engineers. We need that stuff a lot. These other things, I'm sorry, they're not that important to the economy. They just aren't. And it also will further foster innovation by driving that stuff. But our universities have to stop being indoctrination centers and move back to being education centers. So, what do you do? One, I'd chill out. I wouldn't be so excited about this EO. It's typical P.T. Barnum. It's the art of the deal. It's why I call Trump Big Top, because it's just a circus with him. So chill out, work. You got to go to work tomorrow. Ramp up on AI engineering. Be an awesome developer, and keep on moving. So, hey, if you made it this far, I'm trying really hard to build this channel. If you give me a like and a subscribe, that'd be really awesome. I appreciate it. So give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think about what this three-ring circus, where it's going, because I don't know. Anyway, have a good evening. Talk to you later.